Hey friend, you ever wonder why, as an adult, you play less and less, or at the very least, the idea of playing is said to be for children? If that interests you, stick around. And also, stick around if you want to know what my early childhood absolute favorite game was. Okay, so very first reason why I think that playing as an adult has just tremendous benefits is that one, it can help relieve some stress. It almost goes without saying. Oh, and by the way, I have some notes here that I'm reading. So if I'm looking to the side, that is why. So yes, playing helps to relieve some stress. Why? If you're playing a very simple game like an Uno game, right? I like to play Uno. Depending on who I'm playing, it can get pretty vicious. You are not thinking of anything else other than that game. So and you are interacting with other people, right? And whenever you interact with other people voluntarily in a safe environment, that relieves some stress. It seriously relieves some stress. And there is such an underplay, is that a word? An underplay of the value of playing as an adult, at the very least in the society that we live in, that I think that most of us just chalk it up to, well, it's only children that need to play. Adults no longer need to play. And play with adult, like saying adult play, just throws all kinds of stuff into the equation that has no business being there. But that's beyond the scope of this video. So the number one reason why I think playing as an adult is quite beneficial is to relieve some stress. And in fact, let me share my screen here with you. That is not what you're supposed to see. Here, according to helpguide.org, it says that play relieves stress. And one of the ways that it does that, right, is your body during playing, it releases endorphins, which, as you can read here for yourself, it promotes an overall sense of well-being and can even temporarily relieve some pain. Now, that's beyond the scope of this video to figure out what's the relationship between play and pain. And I do have a podcast, and I wonder if there's an appropriate individual that I can talk to about the relationship between playing and pain. Anyways, point number 2 that I have here is better performance at work. Okay, so better performance because, well, if we jump back to the screen here, at work, and we know this because there's like a lot of other companies, the Googles, the Metas of the world, that have incorporated some serious heavy hitting play features at the workplace. So for example, I think it was in 2019 or so, I was doing a short project at Google in Venice, California, and it was a complete shock to me because we had table games, we had video games, we had access to napping rooms and stuff like that. And at first I was like, how do people even get things done, like work-wise? Like, how do you get productive when you have so much things to have fun with? And the idea is that playing at work relieves a lot of stress, but it's a depending on the type of play, of course, but it relieves stress. It makes you perform a little bit better at work. And let's switch back here to the screen. Here, still according to helpguide.org, some of the companies, they know the benefits of playing at work, and that play at work results in more productivity, higher job satisfaction, yada 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 yada. Of course, they want to keep you at work longer, right? So you don't have to go for lunch somewhere else and maybe coming back later. So they want to make sure that you're staying at work longer and working more. But even outside of the corporate structure, if you incorporate playing in your job, in your own job, if you own your own business, for example, just taking a 30-minute break and just playing cards, or okay, whatever it is that you have fun at, it is important to remember to play. And more specifically, it's important to remember that play is not only reserved for children. As we grow up, we tend to just leave the childish ways of doing things behind, for good reason, because it is necessary to some degree. But we just cannot forget to play. Okay, third reason that I have here. I actually don't have a reason. It's gonna jump into well, actually, I do have a reason. The reason is when you are engaged in a game of sorts, not necessarily video games, a game with a friend, a game with many friends, with family, that involves problem solving, right? Even if it's like jump roping. What jump roping? Like where it's not just you. It's like you have like three people, right? Two are standing here with the end of the rope, and then one person is in the middle jumping. That alone is well, that's some like really ancient game here. But for me, it's like it's a problem solving thing. You're trying to figure out at what frequency that they're doing the rope thing, and you're trying to jump, and maybe they're trying to trip you by changing the frequency of the rotation of the rope. So there's many different ways of playing, and many benefits of playing. But the one that I wanted to emphasize more, I just have really terrible words today. But what I wanted to emphasize more is the problem solving part of playing, even if it's just Legos, right? Getting your mind out of things, trying to literally put puzzles together. I worked at a nursing home, and doing puzzles was something that they did quite a lot, because it I don't know if this is the reason, but I'd like to think that there were some benefits in neuroplasticity. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, or if there's any merit to what I just said. Okay, one of the things that I loved to do when I was a kid, one of the things that I loved to play as a kid, was marbles. Let me share my screen here with you again. These little things, marbles. I loved to play marbles. I mean, I could not play marbles enough on a single day. I love to play marbles. And shout out to this Yamtono Sardi, the person that took this picture. It's just I love to play marbles so much, and I would literally trade food. No kidding, I would trade my breakfast. That's a story for another day. I'd trade my breakfast if the situation was dire enough. With someone who had marbles and I didn't have marbles, or I needed 2 extra marbles in order to participate in a particular game that needed more marbles than I had. Oh, what a tongue twister for me. And so I would trade my breakfast for marbles. What a time. Okay, so that's my 2 cents. I would like to know if you enjoy playing. That sounds like a super superficial question, but what's keeping you as an adult today from partaking in as much playing as you would like to, aside of course from having a job and maybe a couple of kids and a dog and the white picket fence and bills and all that. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for listening. Moses, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.